You're listening to 88.7 WLUW Chicago Sound Alliance, broadcasting from the campus of Loyola University. It's live from the Heartland with Katy Hogan, Michael James, and Black and Blue birthday boy Thom Clark. Today we are hearing about politics citywide and state with Mike Dumke and Angela Clay, a candidate for alderman of the 46th Ward.
Hey, get ready. Stand up and be strong. Thank you, Kev Mo. Get ready for another edition of the Live from the Heartland here on WLUW Chicago. And I'm Michael James. I'm going to be here with Katy Hogan and Thom Clark. And we have a really nice show. We're going to warm you up on a cold day, even though it's getting warmer out there. And we're going to talk with Mick Dumke and with Angela Clay. So good morning, everybody.
And let's start with
Happy birthday
to you.
Me?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thom. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, how marvelous, buddies.
Yeah, we could have done that better, but we didn't want to hurt people's ears. Fellow Aquarian, you look a little worse for wear today.
Well, I had a little encounter with fencing protecting our permaculture from bunnies yesterday morning.
Yeah, I think you actually had a little contact with ground.
Well, that happened after the encounter with the permaculture fencing to prevent rabbits from eating up our very valuable perennials that they seem to love, particularly this winter.
So you're okay, even though you look worse for wear.
I'm stumbling around, and the docs have checked me out, and I look worse than I'm feeling. So thank you for those greetings.
So let's just start off.
Happy Lunar
New Year.
Yeah. It's the year of the pig.
All right. Do you know what you are? I'm an ox.
I hope I'm a horse. I don't remember, though.
Oh, jeez. I hope I'm a horse.
Well, a buffalo or a horse or a gorilla?
Yeah. I don't think they have buffalo
Or a whale.
or gorilla or whale. All right. We'll just go on to
got
the next
horses.
thing.
So how many of us didn't watch The Speech this week?
I didn't
watch it.
We saw a great rerun of Indiana Jones. It was a wonderful way to spend the evening. Although we did see the Democratic response because he went on so long.
I couldn't believe he was still going. I kept checking, and I'm like, oh, my God, he's still talking.
Well, I think it's what you get when he has to read it from the teleprompter.
Yeah.
I saw somewhere that 76% of the people liked it, but I also heard somewhere that mostly his base watched it, or a lot of his base.
Well, a lot of people can't stand to watch the guy, so there's that.
Let's hope.
Okay. In any case, the other thing that I wanted to make sure people check out is Congresswoman
Oh, yeah.
Anastasia, tell me her name, the three named Cortez.
Ocasio-Cortez.
There we go,
Adriana Ocasio-Cortez.
All right, look it up, folks.
From Queens.
She really does a number on a congressional committee where she lays out in stunning clarity how things are run. I can't paraphrase it. You got to see it, but you're going to be happy she's there for all of us. That's Ocasio-Cortez at this week. Just look it up. It's all over Facebook.
And if that isn't enough, she was also on Colbert at the beginning of the week, and also very elegant and smart, and had the audience in the palm of her hands.
Yep.
How about Virginia?
Come on.
This is really a mess.
It's really
down there.
ridiculous.
So what happens if the three of them had to resign? Does this legislature decide who's going to run it, and is it controlled still by Republicans?
Well, those are Democrats. I mean, the Democratic guy who would step up is now embroiled in, sexual abuse charges.
And then the one after him, too, the Attorney General.
Oh, also?
Yeah, he had a blackface
in an
moment.
era of Black Lives Matter and Me Too, because we have both things going in this Virginia thing, I turn our listeners' attention to Daleen Glanton, who in the Tribune this week had quite a remarkable column saying, so if he resigns, what does that mean? And her point was, isn't this a teaching moment? If these guys resign and go back to private life, what has really changed? As opposed to using the pulpit they're on and talking about what they've learned about how they used to act.
Who wrote this?
Daleen Glanton,
who was a
an
guest on the
award-winning
show way back.
columnist
That's what I thought.
for the Tribune, who we've had on this show before.
Right.
And it's worth looking at because
Yeah, I saw it, actually.
it gives another interesting perspective on how we should use these as learning moments rather than just killing folks off moments.
Yeah, it was a good point. Okay, so we're going to talk politics now, and we're going to lead into our friend Mick Dumke. Big endorsements for Lori Lightfoot this week were Sun Times and Equality Illinois. She continually pops to the surface as the only unscathed candidate, meaning unscathed by any of the corruption and other scandals that are bopping up in this electoral
Or family
season.
history.
Or family history. I don't know. I like the sound of Mayor Lightfoot. I like the sound of that. So I would like to, for people, we're going to talk about this a lot more, but I'm really
Let
glad
me
she
just
got
say, I
those
watched the
endorsements.
first debate with 5 of the candidates.
That
She
was
was
about-
she was not one of them, and it was dismal. It
Yeah.
was depressing to think. Even Tony, who I have a lot of respect for, just was real defensive.
When you
and
called it the first debate, you're talking about the Fox News debate
Yeah.
with half of them. It's only about the 40th.
well, all right, the first time that I saw on
Yeah.
the other night, and then there were going to be 5 more the next night, which
Which
I
I
didn't
saw
see.
parts of last night, and they were mostly reacting to Amara and Mr. Ford. So both Daley, who joined this one, he decided to show up, and Lori, who was a little quiet, at least in the segment I saw, were all reacting to stuff that Amara had just talked about vis-a-vis education and reorienting how we budget stuff. And she was being really pressed about empty classrooms by Michael Flannery, and she stood her ground about how that's one more sign about how we haven't been allocating properly the resources we have for education. So she'll be interesting to the extent she has more forums like that the next couple of weeks. And again, we'll get into this some more with Mick Dumke in a moment.
Let's actually save the rest of this politics until we get Mick in this. I just was stunned by the thousands of young people taking off school Friday and Thursday to fill the streets in Belgium, France, all over Europe, actually,
Around climate change.
for attention to climate change, which was an action begun by a 10-year-old girl named Greta.
Greta.
I think she was in the Netherlands, but she might have been Belgium, who simply put herself outside. Oh, Stockholm.
Sweden.
Yeah, but I was looking. She was standing out in front of whatever is the Congress in Stockholm, alone with her sign,
The Hague.
and that started this whole movement. And why it hasn't jumped across the sea yet, I don't know, but I would like it to. We're doing an RIP to rest in peace to actor Albert Finney, who gave us hours and years and decades of incredible work, film, stage. He was Daddy Warbucks. He had an incredible breadth of talent.
Tom Jones.
Also, we said goodbye to Congressman John Dingell, who was the oldest, I think, congressman for a long
Longest serving.
time. Longest serving, thank you.
60 years.
And then Frank Robinson, the great ball player, he passed away.
Yeah, bless their hearts.
He was a good guy.
And our hats off to Lynn, our music producer, who is at the Grammys, and indeed
She
is
always goes.
she is sending out live Facebook feeds left and right.
Over and over.
If you want
We
to
love
check
you,
out
Lynn.
the music stars, her friend Buddy Guy is up for something this year, and
I think he's getting a special honor.
yeah. So it's a special week for Lynn, and all of us are with you, Lynn.
Yep, we love you, Lynn. We love what you do.
You're listening to Live from the Heartland on WLUW Chicago, 88.7 FM. A little musical interlude before our next guest.